Welcome back to AM Northwest. Our next guest went into the Shark Tank and came out with a deal thanks to a new holiday tradition she created.
'Twas the month before Christmas when I received the worst gift, the useless gingerbread house decorating kit. Let's face it, they're no fun. We all know why they suck. Impossible to assemble. The children all hate the stale cardboardy taste. What a waste. So I decided to create a new Christmas tradition, the Tomta Cake. A 3D gingerbread house baking pan ready to create beautiful and delicious, no assembly required gingerbread houses, fresh out of the oven, ready for your kids to decorate. But the Tomta Cake is really so much more than that. Each set comes with an original children's story I wrote and illustrated about a pocket-sized gnome named Tomte, who accidentally falls into the cake batter and gets baked into a gingerbread house cake.
And here to share more about her experience on Shark Tank, we welcome the creator of the Tomta Cake, Miranda Vaughn. Good to have you with us.
Thank you.
How cool was that?
It was a wild ride.
Right? And did you rehearse your pitch to them?
Yeah. So ever since about April, when I knew I was kind of in the runnings and auditioning, yeah, I had been working with the producers, and you refine the pitch over the course of.
So do you practice in front of a group of people? Just had kind of get the idea?
I practiced in front of friends a lot.
Yeah.
But you would send in audition videos. So I did my initial pitch. It was written with the producers, and then I would send in a video, and they would basically give me feedback, and then I'd do it again a couple weeks later.
Wow. Okay. So how does it work for those who didn't get to see it?
Yes. Okay. So each set comes with a gingerbread recipe, and it gets turned upside down like this.
I was wondering about that.
There's a missing piece there.
Okay.
I usually put it on a baking sheet and put it in the oven like that. And I guess the whole concept has already been explained. The gnome goes in here, and he comes out, and whoever finds him in their cake.
I love it.
has
And
good
where
luck.
does the gnome idea come from?
You know, I came up with the idea for the baking pan first.
Yeah.
I was having so much trouble getting those kits to stay assembled, and I thought, I wish there was a way to just bake these and have a solid 3D gingerbread house. But then I thought it'd be so much more fun if there was a story that went along with it. And I thought something could get hidden in the cake, and I love gnomes. Everyone loves gnomes.
Yeah, of course. It's great. And then that you did the artwork for this and the story for the book that goes along with it is fantastic.
Thank you.
Okay, so the sharks all fought over you. What? Tell me more about that.
Yeah.
And is it on the timeline that we saw? Like, did it happen in that?
Oh, no. I was in there for about an hour and a half.
No way.
It felt like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
By the time I came out, it was such a blur, but it was, it was an hour and a half I was in there. And I think that the actual negotiating part went on for quite a while.
Yeah, because they seemed to get, what I noticed was they were like, come on, let's make a deal. And I thought, oh, you guys are just chatting.
No, Kevin even said, it was funny, I don't remember it coming out of his mouth, but he said, I'm getting frustrated watching this. Like, they were ready for me to make a decision.
Yeah, and why did you have a hard time making a decision?
Oh my goodness, like your whole future is on the line, it felt like. So
why Kevin? The money?
That was the offer that allowed me to retain the most equity in the business. That was what it came down to. For
because
me
you
that
put
day.
a lot on the line, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
It's a large investment to start making and manufacturing a product like this. It takes a lot of investment financially. And so, and also just the blood, sweat, and tears that I'd put into it over the last couple of years. I was like, this is my baby, and I wanted to make sure I still maintained control over decision making and things like that.
Okay, and then the idea, first of all, came to you because you like the idea of Christmas traditions.
Yeah.
Right? But as you mentioned, the gingerbread houses always kind of don't really go together very well.
Yeah.
And what do your kids think of this?
They love it. I mean, it was a time sitting down with my kids when I first came up with the idea.
Right.
Those gingerbread house decorating kits are so frustrating. They collapse over and over again. And my kids, we just did this with their school yesterday. Actually, they did a big event. They had like 60 cakes baked, and all the kids were decorating. It's easy. It's delicious. We actually get to eat the cakes. My kids have done this so many times now. They love it.
So when you're setting up on the show, is it producers who set up the display?
Yeah.
Or are you setting up the display?
Yeah, you basically get to decide what elements you want. Obviously, I wanted the product out. I had a few other decorating things. They have a food stylist, so I basically sent over all of the ingredients. They baked them up. They just decorated them beautifully. And yeah, all of the display, they have an art department that comes in and does it beforehand.
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're working with Kevin. How is that going?
It is a long process. The due diligence on a deal like that is a long process.
Yeah.
But His team's very professional and thorough. Yeah.
Are they going to put it in stores? Do you know yet?
You know, that was something that we covered. They didn't show a lot in the segment, but when I was in the tank, we talked about that a lot.
Yeah.
Most of the sharks agreed that it wasn't a good idea to put it in retail.
Oh.
That's where I want it. That's where I want to see it.
You said you wanted to do that.
Yeah, I think it was funny. I don't remember saying it when I was in there, but I was like, my heart tells me to go to retail. Yeah, I'd love to see it in stores. I want as many people to have it in their homes as possible. It brings kids so much joy, and I just want it to be accessible and there and available.
And then after Tomte, is there another thing you're working on?
Not yet. I want to give this a little bit of time to grow and see it become something that, you know,
But do you
I have
see
envisioned.
a series of these stories?
I don't see why not. I think
Yeah.
I'm kind of itching to start illustrating again. I had a lot of fun illustrating the book.
Yeah, because your background is marketing, right? Or arts?
No.
Tell me about your background.
I've been a stay-at-home mom for the last 8 years. Yeah.
But I thought you studied like illustration or...
No, I wish. That would have been really handy.
But it's really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, I had the idea for the story. I wrote it really quickly. It just kind of happened in like a whirlwind. And then I was originally going to hire someone to illustrate it for me. So I was looking on Craigslist, and I paid for a few samples, and nothing really had the right style that I wanted. I wanted to kind of feel like vintage and like it's been around for a long time.
Yeah. Oh,
and
I get
so,
that.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I just started fiddling around with a digital illustration app, and I was having a great time, and I was like, I don't want to stop. So I just did the whole thing.
What would be your advice to someone who's thinking about taking some idea they have to Shark Tank? What would you say to them? What did you learn?
Oh, what did I learn? That's a great question. Just trust your gut, I think. That's the one thing that I've done with this business is I have not done anything that hasn't felt good. So so I'm not looking at things lined up on paper all the time, you know, from like a business perspective.
Yeah.
I'm not going into it with an MBA. I'm just like, does this feel good? Does this feel right? And if it does, then I follow that path, and if it doesn't, I walk away from it.
I love it. And I'm guessing all your friends and family have one of these.
Most of them do,
That's so great. I love it. All right, we're going to put all the information on our website at katu.com. Thank you so much. And congratulations.
Thank you so much.